Hello, my friends. I'm Zelda Kelly with True Oracle Tarot Psychics, and I am so glad that you're here today because I gotta admit this. I lost this last reading. This is the second appearance of this one. I did this 2 days ago and thought it was uploaded, and I guess it just disappeared into the cosmic unknown because I can't find it. What could it be? Well, it's good old Mercury Retrograde. And yes, my darlings, yikes. Oh my goodness. We have had it again. Oh my. Here we are. But this one is especially going to be intense because Mercury Retrograde shadow, that's the period before and after the technical Mercury Retrograde happens, is a lot longer. It started November 7th and will last until the 26th of November, 2 days before the American Thanksgiving. And wow, that is a long time. 3 weeks of a shadow period. And then there's Mercury goes indirect, or actually appears to be going backward, starting in the early mornings in the UK on November 26th and lasts until after the first of the year, and with a shadow period then. So I'm going to just say, here we are. Now, what I'm also going to say is this. This is a time period in which I just call it a follow-up. You have to follow up everything that you're going to be doing. You know how you say, well, the best things that you have to do can only be done by yourself. Yeah, you can see that I'm even stumbling in my, that's just the way it is. But I have to follow up on everything, and you probably will too. So if you send an email and you don't get an answer, you may have to follow up. Same thing with a text. Same thing with a call. If something goes to voicemail, or you may miss some calls or emails yourself, your computer may just all of a sudden go on the blank. And while you're working on a very important document, you might want to start saving a little bit more often because sometimes it can just go poof. And even in this case, in my case, this video went poof as well, unfortunately. I've had my lamps fall. I've had my camera fall during the middle of these. I mean, it's just one of those things. And if you can just sit back and laugh, because you know what? During our whole lifetime, we've gotten through these, and you're going to get through this one. So now I'm going to start, and I want to give you one card to just lay a foundation to give you a little base on the telepathy of this whole thing happening. All right, here we are. Past life. There's actually two that came out. The past life, we reunite with our loved ones over and over in different lives. Do you believe that? Let me know in the comments. The soul. Your soul is preparing to reestablish trust in the process. You know, that's what this Mercury retrograde is all about. It's reestablishing, putting things together again. We're going to put these to the side. Now I'm going to explain to you, you see? Sorry. I'm going to explain to you a little bit more about Mercury. In the tarot, the Mercury card is the Magician. Now, I like to call this the manifestation card. Now, for those of you who practice laws of attraction and who believe in that, I do, Mercury retrograde can actually be a very good time for you to manifest. Now, I know what you're thinking. What? Mercury retrograde? What? Well, it's because Mercury has slowed down. You see, Mercury is the sign or the planet of communication primarily. And during this Mercury retrograde, because basically all planets except for the sun go retrograde, and maybe even that too, I'm not an astrologer, but I do know that many of them go retrograde. Now, the idea of Mercury going retrograde means that it just slows down in orbit. And when the other planets go around the orbit, then it appears to be going backwards. That's why communication, talking like Zelda, gets mixed up, and and things can just seem like they're just off. If you feel like you're walking around with a lampshade on your head, well, yeah, that happens too. It can affect your finances, but there's one thing that you need to be very cautious about. This time period will bring back your ex. That's right. It could be 20 years, 30 years, could be 2 months, 3 months. And if they come back in a full vengeance, basically, or they come back professing their love, that they will never leave, and you start making plans, and the next thing you know, you're nearing the end of the Mercury retrograde, and poof, they have decided this isn't for them, and they're off again. I'm not telling you to not trust people, but that happens more often than not during this time. It even has happened with myself. And safeguard your heart, safeguard what you're doing. The other thing is, if you're making a large purchase, like a home or a car or something that's really important, make sure that you read the fine print. And if you can avoid it during this time, sometimes we can't, it's okay, but just make sure that you are aware of all the fine print, all the documentation, and just be aware your closing or your move-in date may be delayed another 2 or 3 days, or something may happen with the mortgage for another 2 or 3 days. These things happen. But manifesting, getting back to that, can really be so helpful during this time because everything is slowed down. Your communication is slowed down, and it makes you stop and think about what you're doing. Write everything down. You see, this card with this magician, his hand is up with a wand, and one hand is pointing downward toward the earth. The basic saying of this card is as a, you see, my darlings, you see, as is above, so is below. So that basically means is you can speak things into fruition and be fruitful, just like this card, because you've got every element at your beck and call. All 4 elements are in the palm of your hands. If you can see it, you can have it. That's how it works. This robe right here is red. Not only is that for passion, but it's for love, and it's control, it's power. And you have an infinite amount of ability to manifest what you want during this time. Mercury is retrograde in the planet of, or in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a very interesting time because it denotes a time in which we need balance. And especially, I'm recording this again, November 9th, and especially right now, many of us need balance because we are ending toward the end of the year. We've come out of an American election. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of upset, but then there is a lot of euphoria right now. It's one end or the other because you don't see that there's much gray area right now. The idea and the invitation is for you to just sit back, take a breath, chill, and write things down. Keep a journal. Keep track of what is going on with you. It shows here that while we can take a minute and make sure that we are in balance with balancing between the spiritual and the material, making sure that we are in a really good place with subconscious and conscious mind working together so we can manifest, we know that we're still on track and still on path with our goals. That is the most important thing. Not only this, I don't know if you'll notice this or not, but it seems like there's going to be even more crime, more high crime cases are going to be scheduled in the month of December and toward the end of this month of November. So you see, things are just a little, I'm going to say, off. And when it says that our soul is preparing to reestablish trust in the process, yes, definitely. You know, even Thanksgiving now for the U.S. is the last Thursday of this month. It used to be that it was the third Thursday, but this time with different, I think we've had 5 weeks in some of the months this year, and it just pushed it off onto the 4th week of November. So that's kind of off for a lot of people as well. So with this in mind, slow down a little bit. I'm going to pull out a couple of tarot cards, and we're going to see how things can just carry on for you during this time. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, look at this. And I don't read reverse, and you know what? That was me picking up my cards in the wrong direction. Do you see how this works? I mean, you may as well just laugh about it. But look at this. The sign of Sagittarius. And if you are a Sagittarius, my darlings, you may be a little bit more affected, but that's actually a good thing. So let me see. We're going to draw out 5 cards. And here we are. The High Priestess. I love her. This is a spiritual time, my darlings. It's almost a time for not only your soul to reset, you see, I'm so sorry, but your finances to reset as well. This is an indication that it is the time now that we really need to work on balancing our finances and balancing communication. This, you see, this card, this Page of Pentacles, he's looking up at this. He's so happy. He's so proud, but he's not proud in a bad way. He's proud of his accomplishments and that he even earned that money. And this is a message coming to you that more money can be coming to you during this time if you are able to manifest it. And I know that you can. Now, this second card, also the nickname of the Prince of Wind and Breezes, tells us that this communication, well, may be coming in hard and fast sometimes. You may not be able to keep up with some things that people are saying, doing, even reading is maybe a challenge. You can't stay focused. This tells us, with the sword going off the frame of the card, you're not done yet. Everything is going to be okay. You're just going to have to just go with the flow, and that's what this means. Now, the one good thing about this Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, we have waves, and sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. While this seems like it might be a negative time, it is not. I believe that this is going to be a very powerful time because, well, look at this. Filled with love, joy, happiness, and the power comes from you. You are in control. And this Wheel of Fortune is on the upswing for you. This is a very spiritual time, and I want to point out, you see there's a T-O-R-A, the Torah, which are the first few books of the Bible written by Moses, also called the Septuagint in Greek. These little fellows here that are writing everything down, that's why I said it's a very good time to write some things down during this Mercury retrograde, these are also, well, representing the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And it's because everything that we do on heaven and on earth is written down. Can't escape it. It's written down. And that's why the Wheel of Fortune tells us that things are good, things are going up, things are going down, but we have to pay attention to how much control that we are in. And this is a very good time. Why? Because this High Priestess, and I love her, she is a very good spiritual card. There's no gray area. It's only black or white, and all water in the tarot, you see this, comes from the robes of the high priestess. Why? Because this is life water. It's truth, love, hope, joy, peace. It's justice. It's harmony. It's all these wonderful good things. And incidentally, I will tell you, she's holding a book, and you can also see there is Tora, just like in this Wheel of Fortune. So that is a confirmation. This can be a very good and spiritual time for you, my darlings. I want you to sit back and enjoy this Mercury retrograde. I mean, after all, right? After all, before I really even knew of Mercury retrograde, my goodness, I've lived through them. Maybe a little bit of confusion here and there, but if you plan for it, you're going to be okay. Now, I want to give you a little message from this Bluebird Lenormand deck. This is really cute, and I want to just give you this message, and it is this. The robber mice take your treasure. Inside the house they steal with pleasure. Hope's not forgone when this card is near. Once the mice are gone, you regain what is dear. You know something? This is telling us, just like this Wheel of Fortune, sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. It goes into waves. And don't fret, because that's what it's saying. Just all hope is not gone. There's a lot of faith. This 7 of clubs and the cartomancy means there's a lot of hope and lifelong security. So don't let this time throw you. Don't do it. It'll be okay. Now I want to show you something else. You see these cards? This is a teaching deck that I have. I've written all of the meanings of these cards on there. And you know what? You can do this too. And if you would like to learn the cartomancy and or the tarot, well, we've got guides for you. I've written 2 very concise and detailed guides of how to read the cartomancy and the tarot. And you can get those today, and you can start reading cards by tonight. I give you direction, I give you layouts, and some I even give you pictures of how to lay things out, what they look like, and what it's all about. Now, the exciting thing is that there are 2 journals also in the shop, and you can write your progress down. It's tarot journals, but you can certainly use them with cartomancy as well. This is very exciting, and like I said, you can start reading cards by tonight. I love it for you. The link is in the description. Please feel free to stop by and shop, but once again, don't let this time fool you. We're in this shadow period. It's okay. We're going to make it through. I know you will. And let's just have fun. That's all I can say. I wish you the best. Thank you so much for watching. And please do me a favor and hang out just for a minute, because YouTube thinks there's another video that you would really enjoy. And you know what? I think the same thing. Thanks for watching. You take care, and bye for now.